Hey, Marcus,
Yep.
did I ever tell you the story about the other day when I was eating a pepper?
No, you didn't. You did
It
not.
was it was kind of weird. So it's a regular, green pepper, thin pepper, but I've noticed that there was something about it that it was just like it was standing out than all the rest.
Uh-huh.
I was preparing my lunch, and as I was preparing it, I just kept looking at this pepper, and it's like it just wanted to see what I was doing and be there while I was making my lunch.
Uh-huh.
And as I was continuing to make my lunch, before I added that pepper in to give it that extra flavor, I started to call it the nosy pepper.
Okay.
And you know why I wanted to call it the nosy pepper? Most
Why
important of all,
why did you want to call it that?
because most nosy peppers get jalapeno business.
Oh my gosh. I really didn't know what was coming out of that. Hey guys, this is the Disaster Project with Marcus and Joe, and that's how we're starting this episode. I had no clue either, people listening, but I'm sure they'll find it just as funny as I
I'm I'm very glad because I rolled with it, but I thought really hard right
did.
before for
Did you read it or did you come up with that?
I was trying. Actually, I'll just leave my trade secrets to myself. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, yeah, like a magician.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
that's really funny. I did not expect. I honestly thought you were gonna say you opened the pepper and there was gonna be like ants in it or something.
That would.
And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
damn, that sucks. That's almost as bad as my bug problems in my house.
Oh yeah. So you
I have a
last.
conclusion. I have a conclusion to that story, even though the story was kind of concluded last time, but I thought it was and it wasn't. So last time we talked about all the gnats. We all the gnats I had in my house or in my bedroom, only in my bedroom, and they were taking up the ceiling. I went up with a ladder, yada yada. You know that. Um. So since then, I've been checking every single night to make sure. Obviously, who wouldn't? Because I vacuumed them and sprayed, but then nothing really happened afterward. Um. So then a few days later, I checked again, and there wasn't like the hundreds of the first time, but there was a whole lot of gnats. So then I was like freaking out. And then there were some downstairs too, which is new. It wasn't a lot like in the bedroom the first time, but it was like five or six. So then finally I was like, yo, we need to figure this out like right now. So we started looking through our house, looking through outside. I opened all the window. Well, I opened the blinds of all the windows. And I actually noticed one of our bedroom windows was actually messed up and open. And it was like a big hole in the window. Like, and you can't really see it if you just look at the window. Like it's like popped out a little or popped in a little. Like I could have yanked it and it fell in my whole window.
That's good.
I know, right? I mean, it's on the second floor, so but there
So
was a hole
you could
enough.
have fallen out of the window, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, pretty much. um but there was a hole that was big enough that mad bugs were just flying in. Then we
What got them
sprayed.
pissed off?
So we sprayed on our backyard this spray called like Cutter. And I don't know, they said it's supposed to work for gnats, but it's mainly for mosquitoes. So apparently it killed all the mosquitoes, but it also killed like the bugs that eat gnats in our backyard.
Oh.
So just and then I cut the grass and then I mulch my grass, which like leaves crushed up leaves and all over, like crushed up grass all over. So when we were researching, the combination of the cutter killing all the other bugs and barely killing the mosquitoes, the mulch, which apparently gnats love when you leave mulch behind, and then the open window was a nice, like, brutal, like, let's take over his house combination.
Well, that's really good. So there's not really a conclusion. This is just like this is more a part two, the revenge or something like that.
Well, no.
Like,
So then we found some stuff specifically for gnats. We sprayed everything. It sort of helped. It didn't kill them all. When I checked the windows, they were like hundreds on the windows. So I actually found out how to close. I had to like realign the window to the track because it just wasn't on the track correctly. And I've never opened this window before. So I guess just from the last time it was there, the track never it never was on the track correctly. So I was able to slam it back, get everything back on track, and then uh, then seal everything up, spray mad extra spray, and then since then we've been good. So it was mostly that my window was sort of open, and then I vacuumed whatever was remaining, any remaining living bugs. I vacuumed them, and we've been good for like 5 days.
well, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm glad that that your gnats issue went from like just like this one-off situation where you vacuumed them up into like this whole three-part movie.
I
So you
know
had
for
like
real.
Gnats Reloaded, and then Gnats Revolution. And I'm glad that that it sounds like you got it solved for now, until you find out that there's like
They're
another
like,
window with an issue, or
I
there's just
know.
like
They're
gnats
like,
doing Mission Impossible stuff through your like
they're,
attic.
they're like, well, the spray you used to kill the gnat revived the mosquitoes, and then no, no, yeah. So that's done. We're actually done with that part. So I'm really happy about that. That'll close that one. Um, and then I also, literally minutes before this video, ate some Velveeta.
Oh, thank God. So what did you think?
Honestly, I
You could give
hated
your
it. I hated it.
Oh
No, maybe not
no.
hate. Hate is strong.
It's
Uh,
okay. It's okay. I get it. I get
it's
it.
so fake. I did not like. Yeah, it's so fake and
Oh
not
yeah.
real. And
No, you shouldn't expect it to be real at all. Like then
yeah, well, what it was is I took like
you end up
one bite and I was like, this is pretty good. And then I took like 3 more bites and I was like, all right, I'm sick of it. Like, you know what it tastes like? I had just the cheese on a Ritz cracker, by the way, because I don't remember if we had this conversation on the
We did.
podcast or not.
We did. Yeah.
It was on because all right, so you had told me about your grandma eating that cheese or something on a cracker. So I was like, ooh, I should try that too just to see. So that was actually really good, but it tastes exactly like those little packets that used to come with like the bread and the dip, or the pretzels and the dip.
Oh yeah, like and it was like a little red piece of plastic that you
Yes.
used to spread.
Yeah, it tastes
I
literally
loved those, dude.
exactly like those.
I loved
Like
those so much.
I
I
did
would
too, but I
I would
wouldn't.
fiend for them when I was little. I would hate when I got the peanut butter version, because like there's a big difference between
Oh
cheese and
yeah,
peanut butter, and they sometimes look the same. So
yeah.
it's really
So
disappointing when you
it
open peanut
tastes
butter.
the cheese by itself tastes exactly like that, like
Yeah.
just a giant packet of that. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I don't. I
It's
wouldn't
okay.
buy it again.
You're kind of backpedaling on what you already said. I'll accept that you hate it. It's okay. I accept that.
I ate the
Um,
whole thing though.
I respect that.
I mean, I was hungry, but
It's
and I
it's
wasn't
fine.
gonna make another
I'm
meal.
I'm really sorry that I just made your whole dinner like terrible. But
Yeah, I literally just ate it like 15 minutes ago, or not even, and I was like, "Yeah, we're talking about this. It's
yeah,
so plasticky." And then I was
yeah.
gonna do my mac and cheese thing where I add a slice of like regular cheddar or something, but the cheese was so strong that I was like, I can't add anything to this. Like, it's too powerful.
I, I I don't know. It's like I obviously know it's not great. I love it for some reason. I don't know. It's probably just a childhood memory. Like nostalgia is like putting blinders on my taste buds. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like it's weird. It's because I'll just literally eat a whole box by myself, and
I could
Megan will pick
definitely
up
see
a
that because the
second half.
box isn't that huge. Maybe the box I had.
I think we have the same box from the
Yeah.
picture you sent me.
Yeah, it's a little like it's bigger than one portion, Like,
Oh yeah,
but I could totally understand how you eat the whole box.
yeah. It's like it's definitely not. It's I think it's supposed to be meant for four people because
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. But in this is America, like we don't have small portions and accept that as like a single meal for four people.
Oh yeah, that's like, and I feel like that's like ramen packets, and I feel like Velveeta is the ramen of mac and cheese.
I mean,
Granted, I love ramen, but
yeah, and I also love ramen.
so yeah, so
And
you
I
should
think
agree.
that's yeah, no, I completely agree with that statement. That's a solid statement.
Like it's like having the Velveeta is like making a ramen pack. Like, and those are, you're supposed to eat like one of them. It's like
Yeah,
two squares in there, and you're
yeah,
supposed to eat one of the squares, and nobody eats one square.
yeah. It's like exactly like I always need. It's not enough. It's delicious. It's fantastic, but like I can't just have one packet of ramen. I
Yeah.
need two.
Yeah. You know what I started doing with ramen? And we just trail off. I guess we always do this.
Oh yeah, no,
I
it's
saw this a few weeks ago. Is adding an egg to the ramen while it's boiling.
I thought about doing that, but that's like too fancy for me.
It's actually really good.
I do
I
like I do like prison ramen, but I'll get to that when you're done.
Wait, that all I had was adding the egg, and it's really good, and it's like fancy. I want to know what prison ramen is because I've heard that before, and I tried it, and I wonder if it's the same thing.
I'm kind of just making fun of how I made it without water, but yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh!
so in my thoughts, and I've made this for my sister-in-law when she had a really bad day once, and it works.
I was gonna
So
say, and it got worse.
no,
Like,
um, that's a separate backstory that I won't tell ever. But so pretty much you take the packet of ramen. So you have like, I mean, it really any pack except like cup
yeah,
noodles because I don't think it works with like Nissan cup noodles.
no,
But so you open the pack like one end
yeah,
and you take the seasoning out, and then pretty much from there, like you hold the bag shut and you start like crushing the dry noodles on the inside, so it's like chips pretty much. And then once they're crushed, you open the seasoning packs, if which is optional, and then you pour it in there, and then you just shake the bag, and you're pretty much just eating dry ramen chips, and it's delicious. It's definitely salty, so got to be careful on that. But like if you don't have water and you're hungry or just want a snack, it's pretty good. And that's my prison story.
wow, yeah, that's not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah, because there's like those videos online where people actually make prison food, and that's completely different than the joke that I just made.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that because we love salty in this household. I was thinking I had a teacher in college that he would make ramen and then put tuna fish in it, and he would eat like ramen tuna fish.
That actually doesn't sound bad. Like
So
dry ramen tuna
no,
fish, or
no,
like
no, like he would cook the ramen and
that
then
sounds that sounds good.
but I was like, man, he's crazy, and he was like, you guys should try it, and I tried it, and it was actually really really good. Like, granted, I haven't eaten it in like, I don't know, 7 years. I have no clue, but when I tried it, it was really really good, and I would definitely recommend it. Although I haven't eaten it in a really long time.
I'm gonna try it now. I just
So
wrote
I
it
thought
down.
that was prison ramen,
Yeah,
but
Megan's probably gonna think I'm a psychopath when she just sees me opening a can of tuna and throwing it in
and
ramen.
the
But
ramen, yeah. So
yeah,
it was like you cook the ramen, you boil the water, mix it with the pack, and
hmm
then take out all the water, and then just add a can of tuna in.
that's actually I don't know. I really like the water or what
I
like the broth
know,
of the
but
ramen
I
because
don't.
that's like the the piece de
The,
resistance, like
yeah,
the
yeah.
good stuff.
I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know if that works with tuna, but you could try it whatever way you
yeah,
want.
I get it though because that's just wet sloppy tuna ramen now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
But it was really good. When I tried it, it was good. He also added cheese, and I didn't go that far.
yeah. We're always going to end up talking about food at some point, but before I before I go into my next point that I want to,
Is it about
I've heard.
food?
Oh yeah, no, it's about food because you said cheese in ramen, and it reminds me of. I think everyone south of like Delaware swears on like a slice of American cheese on apple pie. Is that a
Oh, I've
thing?
done it. Yeah, yeah. I used
Is
to
it
work at
good?
I've never tried it, but I know a lot of people who have had it because when I used to work at Johnny Rockets, people would order it all the time. Like
And
all the time.
it's that's weird.
I
It's
even
weird considering when we're like not in the South and you
mhm.
work at Johnny Rockets. Like
Yeah.
I've heard that's just like a Southern thing, and it's
I
always
don't
made me
know.
curious. But it's like,
People had it and I might have tried it, but I don't remember anything about it if I
mm,
did. But I even to the extent where we put out a apple pie milkshake and we had people come in and ask us to put cheddar cheese in their milkshake.
that's awful. That's a sin. That is a
Which I
sin.
felt was like too far.
Yeah,
But
no,
they
that's
were like, "Listen, can you make our milkshake and then like mix cheddar cheese in it? And if you can't do it in the blender, just put it on the top."
oh boy.
And we would get that all the time too. So people like it. I don't know. It adds like a smoothness. The silence. Is your mind like blown? Like I don't
I'm just appalled.
like try it. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna, and Megan's gonna think I'm a psychopath and probably divorce me for that
You
one.
should do them the same day. All
Yep,
three of your do your crushed up ramen for like lunch or snack, then make your tuna ramen, and then for dessert have some apple pie with cheddar cheese.
that sounds like a great
She'll be like,
great way to
"Who is
like
this man?"
throw up everywhere. That sounds horrible.
That's true too. You're gonna burp like cheese, apple, and
Ugh,
tuna. Like
I'll pass.
it's a great way to make your wife think like an alien replaced you or something. like, like you just start acting weird and then just eat these crazy foods for a day. Like,
Yeah.
any weird breakfast ones?
No. Yeah. No. Um. Let's move on from that. That's. um. Vamp, Marcus. Vamp. I can't think of it
I
now.
know, I know. What happened? I thought you had
No,
some
I'm
stuff you
kidding.
wanted to talk about.
No. Well, I mean, you did name your one of your professors in college, and I did want to kind of talk more about like you went to college for art and everything, or in photography and stuff like that,
Yeah, and design.
and design, yeah, and that's kind of pretty much what you do is a lot of your profession. So I wanted to
To
talk more
talk
about
about
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
trying to plug my business.
yeah.
Well, no, we've been oh, hold on, my mic just fell. Yeah, yeah. So I went to school for design and I do design for a living, which is like graphic design. Um which I find I don't know, maybe it's just older people. It just confuses people because when I say, "Oh, I do graphic design," everyone's like, "What?" Like, "Huh? What does that mean?" Like, I don't know. I think they think like I make fake homes and interior designing, like, but
they
on a
think they think
computer.
they
Like,
think you play The Sims all day.
pretty much, like, I think they're just like, wait, my daughter plays that on her computer. Like, is she an interior web designer? Like, and I have to be like, no, I like create logos, like, and business cards and flyers and what emails and stuff. And I'm like, like those things you get in your email, like promotions, like, and they're like, "Oh wow, that like makes way more sense for like this dude." Like, yeah, we've been since we moved, it's been pretty good. Like, I'm surprised I built a new website for like my design stuff, and then like a print company I started, Rolesville Printing. Check it out. Um,
It's
and
fantastic.
and then since I've been here, like obviously I'm very much on my own. Usually I work on a team, like at my old job. So I would build the website and then pretty much hand it off to someone, and they would do what's called SEO, which we talked about a little earlier, sort of. And they would do all the SEO, which is like search engine optimization, which is the most annoying thing in the world.
100%.
Um,
Yeah, I've definitely done it a few times, and it's yeah,
oh my
definitely.
gosh, for a website, I feel like it's horrible. I never knew because I always just handed it off. Like I knew a little bit, but like so basically like your website needs to be worded a specific way if you have keywords, you have to make sure you like work that into your website as many times as possible. So like I have to say printing as many times as possible in my website to get, when people look, printing company near me or something, for me to show up. So it's like, here at Rolesville Printing, we love printing for you and your prints. Like,
So
uh,
from an HTML standpoint, maybe you just like have a backdrop that just diagonally
you
says
know,
printing over and over and over.
so I really kind of not. I didn't try that. I don't know if this works. This might be like SEO tips and tricks or whatever. So I, in my HTML, I did write in like Rolesville Printing, printing near you, Raleigh, Roseville, North Carolina, printing company, whatever, Roseville, like, and did a bunch of like the keywords, and then I wrote like every city near me, and then I put hide this on every browser. Like I wrote some code so it doesn't show up at all. Like if you look at my HTML, you will see it, which is what Google usually does, is look at your HTML. Um, but if you go to the website, you don't see it, and there's really no way to see it unless you open up my HTML on the website.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that works. I mean, I also did mad other stuffs. I made like a Google account, added a bunch of stuff, added my business on Google, got a bunch of people I worked for do reviews and stuff. And to the first page if you live in North Carolina, and like got a bunch of stuff. Um, but I don't know what worked or what didn't. I just did a whole bunch of stuff, which is kind of off topic from what we were talking about.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, but yeah, so that was my experience with my first like SEO, and that's my website. I built the websites and stuff. And then I've been working on a new logo for you, which
true.
we could
Yeah.
talk about. Um, I mean, I also, since I
We didn't have to
opened,
talk about that, but that's fair.
no,
If you
it's
want to talk
fine.
about it, I
It's
can
it's
start
a fun
hounding
conversation.
you.
You can hound me a little.
Yeah.
Because I do, this is when I worked for, I guess, me or people close to me or whatever. Like, I feel like whenever I send you stuff,
You mean when you worked for Smishmosh or whatever we?
yeah. Well, no, I just mean when I work for like clients, usually, like that have their own business, they pretty much know what they want,
Yeah.
and I just make it better. But I feel like when I work with like you or like my friends, I create something and you're like, beautiful, and I'm like, not beautiful enough. Like,
I
and I'm
don't
like,
like you know me. I would never lie and say
yeah,
something good. I
I
will
know, but like you saw me working on it for I showed you what I worked on for like 20 minutes, and you were like, "Wow, that's great. Like you could send it to me right now." And I was like, "I hate it." Like I was like, "I
yeah.
absolutely hate it." Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, it's great." And I'm like, "No. Like I can't make you do this." Like, so like literally I've been working on it. Like if I show you my artboard or something, there's like 25 different logos and 25 different, especially when it's like, I mean, I kind of do this for every client, but especially when it's like close to me, like you're pretty close to me, and like you don't have a perfect vision of what you have, or I'm not improving something you already have. It's already like, man, I really want to get this perfect. Like, and I just keep looking at it, and then I'll be like, I love it, and then I'll save it, and the next day I'll look at it and be like, wow, I loved this yesterday. Like, I thought this
Yeah.
was good design.
I know exactly what you mean, and in a lot of different ways. Like you you know me, I don't draw anymore or anything, but like I've done that with drawings, but like in my spare time, spare time, meaning like when I'm not doing this or trying to
Yeah.
sleep or playing video games, um, I sometimes have the need that I want to try and write, and I've always wanted to write a book, some
Yeah.
type of book, but I always get to the point where I write, and it's like, pages upon pages of something that I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be awesome, and then like I put it down, and a week later I'm just like, oh my god, this is terrible,
Yeah.
and
You're like, I thought this was good.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like I look at it, I'm just like, I don't know where I was going with this. I don't know if anyone wants to read this. This is awful. And then it's stored on like my Google Drive, and I just
yeah.
never look at it again. Like,
I mean, they say that's the sign of someone who's good at it. So maybe you need to finish your book. They say
Oh,
like
thanks, man. That's
no,
positive vibes
seriously.
heading my way. I appreciate that.
So no, seriously, because like so they have the art. I don't know if you know this, but they have like artist imposter syndrome. You know what that like
um,
where they say pretty much
I
any art.
probably yeah. No, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no, any art you have or do, any artist or type of artist, which is like music, writing, literally there's so many now, dance, like um they they say the better you are at it, the less good you think you are. Because there's always, and there obviously there's exceptions. Like there's some people who've been doing it for like 40 years and they're like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like
Sure, yeah, yeah,
um
like Stephen King, where I mean, he's not really that great anymore, but
yeah.
like he knows his shit's good. He knows there's generations of people who love his books, and
Yeah.
he's not afraid to admit that. But I know what you mean. Yeah,
And then yeah, but even with people loving your stuff, like I get a lot of people that tell me, and this isn't bragging or whatever, but I get it, like I'll draw something and people will be like, wow, that's really amazing, and I'm like, really? Because the ears are horrible and the shading is horrendous, and like like, and did you look at how dysmorphed his eyes are? Like I don't know. Like, so it's not about like, I guess, how many people think it's good, it's just you thinking it's good or not. um and they say usually it's a sign of you like your craft or you're good at it, because it just means you're progressing more than your art is progressing. So like your skills as you're writing, you're gradually getting better, so when you look back at it, you're better than when you first wrote it or first drew it or whatever. And they say usually your eye or your, I don't know, brain, like your eye for the talent, specifically for drawing, is always better than your actual talent, and that you need that to progress. So like I can always see art that's like, I can understand art that's better than what I can do.
yeah.
So I always have a goal you always have a goal to get to, and you're always going to get to that goal as long as you know and you keep doing it. So it's really interesting. And if you suck, if you're entry level, they say people that are like really entry level don't know enough to know that they're bad.
That's I mean, it all makes sense, and that I'm not gonna doubt that. And you've definitely been doing this stuff for
Yeah, yeah.
longer
So it's
or more
like,
consistently, at least, than I have.
it's like the people who are like decently good a lot of the times usually don't like or don't think they're that great, and the people who are like just starting or like aren't very good at it always think like they're the best. Like
Hi, I'm Marcus Ortiz. Welcome to my TED Talk.
I
In,
want you
in,
guys to believe in yourself. Unless you think you're the best, then go dig a
yeah.
ditch. I only want people who don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I suffer with that a lot with like almost everything I do. Like I always have to tell people, like, even like when I'm talking to people, like, yo, there's always gonna be someone that's better than you.
Yeah.
Like there's always gonna be some like 12-year-old that's better than you. Like it's always gonna be someone like that you're like, really, this kid is better than me, like, and that's just the nature of it. Like
No, that's true. And
that
if
doesn't
there's
take a oh yeah.
yeah, if there's someone better than you, that means you can you can always improve.
Yeah, and that doesn't take away from you.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. People are like, "Oh, this 12-year-old's better than me. I should stop doing it." It's like, no, that doesn't like
Yeah,
that's not
that's
how it works. That doesn't take away your enjoyment of it or your
exactly.
talent.
You're just being a selfish person at that point. Like you can have your skills and they can have their skills. It doesn't matter if a 12-year-old's better than you. You can always even say like, "Oh, uh, maybe I can improve this way. This guy's doing it," or like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, learning should always happen, and that's even if
Yeah,
it's
and
from a
that's
12-year-old, and that's a magical thing.
yeah, yeah. And that's something I definitely like struggled with, being in a career and field of art where I'm always like, man, someone's better than, like, this guy's way better than me. Like even still, like at my job, my previous job, I got the job, I was working there for like 2 years already, like I have almost free range of all the design and everything, and I'm going through the files, and I saw like, oh, like hiring, and then I click on it, and then it's like, oh, employee test or something. And basically, to get a design job, depending the place and your skills, they basically give you like a test, like a hiring test. So mine was like creating an ad for our company, and they gave me like a half a page thing to read, and then I had to make an ad for it in 30 minutes. And mine was like, it was like cholesterol or something, like watching your health with like cholesterol. And
I
I
feel like
honestly,
30 minutes is like no time, but
seriously, right? I was rushing. I was like, oh my gosh, down to like the second, like, like Master Chef or something. Like, 3, 2, hands off the
yeah.
keyboard, hands off the keyboard. Like, um, yeah. So it was literally like down to the second, and I had to get it like live. So I did the test. Obviously, I got the job, but I'm looking at it like 2 years later, and I'm like, hey, look, these are the other people that didn't get hired or whatever. I just broke a plot point, but but I looked at the other like interviewee ones, and I looked at one of them, and I was like, man, this guy's so good. Like this guy didn't like, whoa, this guy didn't get hired. Like, and I'm looking through it, and I was like, man, I wouldn't have even thought of that. Like I forgot what he did. It was like he did like an artery close up, and it was like an actual, he photoshopped the donut like clogging the artery. Like, and it was just so good. And it was like 30 minutes. I was like, man, this guy photoshopped this donut, did all this in 30 minutes, like did a good ad. And I was like, man, he did so much better than me. And I told my boss, I'm like, man, why didn't you hire this guy? Like, I was like, yo, this thing is so much better than mine. And he was like, yeah, but you got hired, didn't you? Like, what does it matter? Like,
True.
he was
He's
like,
not
it's not always about raw talent. Like, this guy had good stuff, but you had a full, broader portfolio. He's like, other things, it's not just your talent that makes you.
Yeah, he
He's
could
like, you're,
also have talked like a caveman, and that probably wasn't
I
fun.
make design good. Like,
Donut in vain.
no. But no, he was just like, oh, it's not all about talent. Like, he was like, he had the design stuff down, but he wasn't a good fit. They were basically like, he wasn't a good fit for our team. He seemed like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, yeah, I'm the best at what I do. And he was like, you're never he's never gonna grow past that. Like,
Oh yeah, he's already peaked. Is pretty
yeah,
much.
they were like, he's
Yeah.
peaked. We need someone who's ready to grow,
Yeah.
and always needs to be ready to grow. And it just, I don't know. I was really surprised, and I was like, yeah, you're right. I did. I was the one who got hired. Like, wow, you're right. He sucks. No. And then I emailed him like, heh, no. You need to put in the Simpsons thing when I do that.
Great. Now I have to go find an audio, like a soundbite effect.
And you have to purchase the rights to to use it. I don't know if you have to, but
Yeah, who knows? I don't know if this is a Creative Commons thing or if we're gonna get sued because we do it. So I wrote a note for Simpsons haha at 32 minutes.
that's funny. And we didn't even talk about anything we said we were gonna talk about.
No, I wanted to talk about your graphic design, and
Yeah.
I think your journey is like pretty much described. You didn't really go back to high school, but I don't think we really need to go back to high school.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
F high school. I was gonna say and the people there, but no, they were good. I like you guys. Only because this is going on Facebook, probably.
Yeah, everyone in high school was great.
Oh man, they're gonna be like, "Wow, they still talk." Like, um, but yeah, so yeah, your logo's coming today or tomorrow.
That's okay. Whenever you have time. I know you're busy. It's
Yeah,
it's cool.
I
And I'm
also
not
have.
hounding you. I just wanted to talk about graphic design
No,
because
yeah,
it's really a
no, it
fun
was
topic.
good. I was working on it when we like, and literally, I looked at what I had worked on, and I was like, nah, I'm starting over. And I've made like 15 new logos since then.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't wait to see them. And for anyone who's made it 34 minutes in, talking about graphic design and prison ramen, I can also vouch that he's made other logos for people I know, and they're all fantastic.
check out my website, marcusjortiz.com. It won't have any of these logos because I haven't updated in like a year, but I'm working on it.
Honestly, you should just add them. That's fine.
I've been meaning to update I really need to update my website. I was actually talking. I don't think I'm getting a new job. I think I'm going to stay with my own business.
Hey,
But
that's cool from there. Like, yeah, I don't want to have this kind of sidebar, but if you need any help with that, more than happy.
oh yeah, but with my job letting me go, since I didn't get fired or anything like that, they just like got rid of everybody. They gave me like they paid for like 4 months of like job recruitment services and like portfolio and resume look ats and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Which was really nice. Yeah. So because of that, I just use them anyway, like just to be like, hey, can you read my bio? Like, can you look at my website and read? And they were like, well, this has nothing to do with getting a new job. And I'm like, well, sorta. Like, so I've been having them like proof me read my website and stuff like that. Which the lady was fine with. They're super nice. I don't remember what they're called. But so far they've been super helpful. Except a little, like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I was doing so much already. Like, she was like, "Oh yeah, your resume looks good. We're probably not gonna touch it." Like,
Yeah.
and she
Plus,
was like, "Uh huh,
no, go on. I was just gonna say. Plus, you could always make the argument that you're plugging your website into your resume or something.
yeah, yeah." um, and they were kind of like, "Yeah, no, your resume looks great." And I was like, "Okay, like, but don't you think this paragraph looks weird?" And they're like, "Nah, I don't think so." Like, and I was like, "All right, I guess."
That means it's
Like,
either really good or they just really don't give a shit.
seriously, that's where I was like, like, and I was like, "Well, can you help me with my bio?" And she was like, "I don't know, it reads fine." Like, like, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, these people!" Like,
It's like
um,
when you're a kid and you're like, "Mommy, look what I found," and she's like, yeah, go
I
fuck up."
honestly, but she was like, she was like, "Oh, let's look at like your LinkedIn and stuff," and she was like, "You know, a lot of people don't do the LinkedIn thing, and you really should." And she's like, "Have you added a banner?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I added a banner." She's like, "Let me go to it and see your banner." And she goes to it and she's like, "Wow, this is nice." And she's like, "Oh, but did you add detailed things on what you did at your last job?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, wow." And then she's like, "Did you put a link to your website?" And I'm like, "Of course." And she's like, "Oh, you did." And she's like, "But did you get you got recommendations?" Like, and I was like, "Lady, you're giving me a big head." Like, like I was like, I really feel like I should go look for a job because you're just making me feel like my resume is so good. Like, and I haven't updated it in like 6 months. Like,
Yeah, I
um,
mean, whatever you want to do.
no, I really don't. I'm so unsure because of the stability, and of course, I just like bought a house. Like, mind you, I don't want to say I'm making zero, but like, I went from like full time job income to like pretty much zero. Like, especially with everything happening in this pandemic. Um, like everything's low. Like the print companies are running low and everything's running low. Um, so a lot of people aren't really doing design, and a lot of people aren't worrying about design right now. They're worrying about surviving.
True.
Especially like companies are just like they're not worried about sending out, I guess, ads for per se. They're worried about like opening, like about like just getting the doors open. Like,
I think it depends on like, and yeah, I think it depends on pretty much what you're marketing to, though, because
yeah,
with my job, and I really won't mention what I do, but I work with a lot of different industries, and some of them have just completely like.
he's a sex worker. No, he's not. A lot of different industries. No.
But yeah, so I work with a lot of different industries.
Sorry.
So like hospitals and stuff like that. So like
Mhm.
hospitals are doing great, obviously, but
Come today.
so, and like there are areas that are doing like really great, and then obviously there's things that aren't doing great. Like airlines
Yeah.
aren't doing great, so you really wouldn't want to market to airlines. But I don't know if there's like a local uh like medical practice, you could
Yeah, yeah.
probably see if you can advertise to them or something. or
that's a good point.
loiter in front of their offices. Or just
Well,
come in
since
with samples on like, hey, here's a business card that could be yours if you went with me. Something like that.
yeah, I mean, I've been doing like we had a whole conversation, me and Ashley, about this because like in a way it's like cold calling, like, and nobody likes cold calls. Like, whenever people showed up at my job or something and they were like, "Hey, like I'm a designer, here's my portfolio," like, and I'm always like, "All right, you don't have to shove it down my throat." Like step it back a little. But at the same time, I'm in that situation right now, and I'm like, should I be showing up at people's places with my portfolio, like printed and like ready? Like, hey, look, I could do this for you. Um, and what I've kind of been doing was like, besides getting my website up and then like just advertising online, um, I've literally just been being a person and also plugging my design, like, so like here every chance pretty much, and it's been working. Like, it's not for the sale, because also it's an art and I like talking about art, so I could talk about this for the whole 2 hours or whatever. Like, it's something I like to do, so it comes up naturally a lot. But like, I just got a few clients since I moved here, which I was really honestly shocked about. We talked about it a little. um but I went to the coffee shop by here. There's this like new local hipster coffee shop, which is great. And I just went there. I talked to them. I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on?" They're like, "Oh, what are you doing today?" And I'm like, "Working on designs like, for my business that I do for people. If you guys need some." Like, and then I'm like, "Oh, here's my card," and it's like this super cool plastic transparent card.
Oh yeah, I love that card. I think I lost it. I'm not gonna lie, but
It's
I was
fine.
really
It's like
bummed when I found out that that or it's still in my wallet and I just can't see it.
it's just transparent.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
has no information. It's just a transparent card.
Yeah, you handed me a piece of plastic once. It's just like, oh, cool.
Um, but like I found that just being like a person and not like a billboard of myself has been working really good. At least I think so. Like, so far I've been here 3 weeks and I actually had like 2 or 3 clients already reach out. A few people called thinking they can come to my house and print out of my house, but that's its own thing. They called like, "Hey, can I come now? I have a USB drive and I want to print 50 documents." And I was like, we kind of can't do that." Like,
Sir, I'm not a Staples.
kind of like, I was like, I do more like business cards and designs and postcards, like bigger things. And he was like, "Oh, so you don't have anything I can come and print on there?" And I literally was like, should I like pull out my HP,
I was
like
gonna
my
say, like,
Canon printer?
just charge them an absurd amount for
Like,
your HP printer.
like I was like, should I just pull out my printer and like print like that? Like, sure, $30. Like, um, but it's been working. Like, I just did t-shirts today for somebody. And I did it old school. I pulled out all my old machine and did it here at my house. I did shirts and business cards for somebody that I have no clue who they are, and they just reached out and were like, "Hey, I was on Vistaprint, but I saw your ad and I thought I should go local."
That's cool.
And
That's
I
really
went
cool.
loco.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, it was a really cool feeling. And then I met them and they were super nice. I feel like everyone here is mad nice though. Like, I'm so sick of Jersey. I'm happy I'm out of Jersey. Sorry, you're still there, but what's the silence for? Not you. You don't count as them. But no, I'm starting to think, I think everyone here is just really nice. Like, for now.
Yeah, for now.
and
We'll see.
so far I've spoken to my first week here. I went to the coffee shop. As soon as I saw the coffee, not that I marked it as like a target, but as soon as I saw the coffee shop, I was like, hipster coffee place. Like, I could talk there for hours and try and get clients and just be super cool with everyone.
Do they have a website? Like, what's the name of this place?
It's Black and White Coffee. I think it's NC. I saw their oh my gosh. Their Instagram is like, oh yeah, Black and White Coffee Roasters. There's two, one in Wake Forest and one nearer to me in Rolesville.
I realize I should probably cut this whole part out.
No, it's fine. They're getting promotion.
True.
I just said they're great.
No, I know. I'm just saying you're getting now geolocated on our podcast.
Come to my house.
To be fair, you already named your company, so
yeah, I live at 318 Breakaway Drive.
They have birthday coffee, and it comes with a unicorn horn. Fantastic.
Oh, I'm looking at that right now.
They have grape coffee?
I've only tried their regular coffee.
Oh man, I need to go to this place. This sounds.
I'll get
fantastic.
you some coffee. They have really, and I'm an artist and a designer, so I appreciate good design.
Okay. This is solid.
So they have these super nice T-shirts.
I think you could do better.
I probably could. But no, I don't want to be the other guy that thinks he's great.
I'm kidding. You're trash.
But. Oh, it's because it's their birthday. They just did a whole competition where they gave away some giant like espresso machine that's like $4,000. Like,
damn.
Yeah, I did not win.
I bet I would have heard about it already. And yeah, I would have come over.
But they have these shirts that they ran out of stock, I guess, the week I got here, and I've been just dying to get one. Like, because I just appreciate the design of stuff. I love supporting random. Like, if I could get a really nice shirt, it makes me happy. I also probably have a total of like 8 shirts that I wash every other week.
You have probably double than the amount I have. I have a red striped shirt, I have a pink striped shirt, and a green striped shirt, and they're all T-shirts.
Yeah, I have, I guess, like 8 or 9 dress shirts because I was wearing dress shirts every day for work. Probably a little more than 9 dress shirts. And then, like, now that I've been T-shirting it up with the pandemic, I'm like, man, I wear the same shirt a lot. Like, and then I just went to Target and I bought a 4-pack of black shirts, and I was like, wow, I pretty much doubled my inventory of shirts that I wear. like I was like, ooh, 4 more shirts, even though they're all black, so it still looks like I'm wearing the same shirt. I mean, I make my own shirts all the time, but sometimes I just don't feel like it. And that's another thing. I think, let's say I have 8 shirts, not including the 4 new black ones. 6 of them are Deep Space shirts that I made. Deep Space is my brand of clothing.
And so it's a fantastic brand.
Man,
you're plugging this whole
everything. Pod. This is the plug. What is this? Is that what it's going to be named? Plugging my brands, Marcus Edition.
Yeah.
But 6 of them are Deep Space shirts. And then like 4 regular, like I have a Circa Survive shirt. I can name them. Circa Survive shirt, Angels and Airwaves shirt. I think they're all band shirts. A Vans Warped Tour shirt. Oh, and a shirt I got from California from a local brand I found out there.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite shirts.
What is it called? Is it called like Vans?
No, it's called Back to Cali.
Oh, okay. Obviously never heard of it for
yeah. Oh, and then I have a To the Stars shirt because I went there in Encinitas or something.
Yeah. Just thanks for rubbing it in.
It's fun. Well, if you want to feel, I don't know, better or worse, I went there. I went to the store. Like, they had Tom's signed guitar or whatever, and it was so cool. And then I ended up leaving the next day to come home. And then, like, while I'm at the airport, they're like, Tom DeLonge is here in the store. And I was like, damn it, are you serious? Like, and they were like, want to meet him? Like, come to the store. He just popped in. Like,
that's incredibly fun.
And I was like, I'm really about to leave this airport right now. This is probably the closest I'll ever be, like, to meeting Tom DeLonge. Like,
that's awful.
Yeah, so today was a big day. At least for me it was. I don't know. Yours maybe was yesterday was your big day. But today and yesterday was a really, really big day.
Why was today a big day, Marcus?
Because Mario came out. You thought I was going to talk about
about the what?
The
About the what? It just keeps bleeping out for some reason.
Oh, the Xbox Series S and X. Yeah, no. So we'll talk about the PlayStation because that was the whole thing today. You didn't see my Instagram story or anything, right? I mostly sent you photos though.
I
You
didn't.
pretty
Yeah,
much got
I
it.
don't. I've never. The only, and I think I insulted Ashley once by saying this. I've only ever looked at Instagram stories by accident.
Yeah.
She told me she told me, yeah, Joe looks at my Instagram story. He saw one today. I'm like, nope, I hit that by accident. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't even look at it.
And then I said that, and I'm like, God damn it, Joe, what have you done?
Like
But
it's really quick, totally off topic. I just looked at my phone. I have like 37 notifications, and I was like, "Oh my god, who died?" And it's because I have like a security camera in my backyard too, and there's just this rabbit flipping out, and he's just running around my backyard eating my grass and stuff. And it's kind of great.
I'm really happy that's the reason. I can imagine it like in my head, it's like just a rabbit zipping past like every 5
He's
seconds.
so fast. He's just eating though, and then I was watching him a little earlier. This is apparently what we do. And I turned on the light and he ran. So I guess he's back. But yeah, and my camera's in black. It does like the night vision mode.
Yeah,
So like his eyes are all like really
glowy.
giant and
Yeah.
glowy, and it looks like a Courage the Cowardly Dog like creature. Like, but yeah, so that just distracted me really quick. So PlayStation 5. Let's talk about this.
No, I have to beep that out again. Damn it! I thought we were talking about Mario.
And Nintendo would be faster to sue us before PlayStation. If that's why you're saying bleeping it out.
No, I wasn't. I was just saving the main topic for last, even though graphic design
Oh,
took up
okay. All
50
right.
minutes of the podcast.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I don't know what you want to save it for. Let's go with Nintendo first.
Yeah,
Because they just came out with the Mario. And that was today. Did you buy it? The Mario 3
I
pack?
I pre-ordered it, and I hope please Nintendo don't sue us for talking about you on this podcast. Anyway, because that is a good point. But yeah, I pre-ordered it like when I
Man,
got
you
paid.
just throwing all your money at video games this month, huh?
I had some left over. It's okay.
Like, I didn't pre-order it. I thought about it. I still want it. I'm waiting a little just because I got Last of Us 2.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want to buy it both at the same time. And I still want Tony Hawk.
I wanted that up until like it came out. And then I'm like,
Why?
I'm having, cause I don't know. I was like really excited and everything. And I'm just like thinking about it. And like, I could have fun with this, but also playing Skater XL is way more fun than
Um,
I like the realism over the arcade right now.
yeah, but those punk bands in Skater XL aren't that great. The point is that there isn't punk bands in Skater XL.
That's true. It's all my music. And thank you for telling me that I'm not that great.
What? Well, I'm just saying that I didn't say you're not that great. I said the punk bands in Skater XL aren't great because
That's
they're not there.
that's fair.
Because like I don't know, Tony Hawk, all these like Goldfinger plays and like all these pop punk bands and everyone and
You're not wrong. I
but
do. The music is great, but
even though I didn't go with Tony Hawk, I ended up buying Last of Us too. I got
and
to the spoiler part.
so you got through the first hour.
Yeah, pretty much. It was early. I really thought it was mid game.
No, it's the beginning of the game.
Seriously,
They
I
jump
did feel
into
like
it.
it was early. Like I was like, man, I just saw him for the first time. Like,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
yeah,
And
it was early because I was like, man, people stop playing at this point. I've only been playing for like 45 minutes.
exactly. That's people stopped playing after the first like hour or two, and that was it.
Man, that's
And
hard. Maybe I'm just cheap because I was like, I paid 60. Well, I didn't pay $60, but if I paid $60, I'd be really, really mad that.
I needed to stop playing for a while because that part hit me so hard, and then I came back the next day and continued when I was a little over it.
Yeah.
I'm not over it still, but
I stopped playing because I had to do the podcast.
I'm sorry.
I literally got to that part, and then they were like, "I'm going to Seattle, the Windy City." I couldn't. I had to. I thought of that on the spot. the the rainy city. No. Callbacks.
Oh man.
But they were like, "I'm going to Seattle right now," and I was like, "Well, I'm going upstairs," and I like. So I literally left off right there.
Yeah, I guess let me know how far you get, because I would love to talk about the game, because
Yeah,
it
it
gets
was.
so good,
Yeah,
and
so
people
far it's
never give
been
it a
pretty
chance to
good.
realize that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, although I feel like it was a lot. The first hour was a lot of like just hanging out,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there was a lot of like, man, I really don't care, like that's great for you. Like I'm glad you found happiness and love. I want to murder some things, except Jonathan. He
True.
didn't find anything.
Yeah, exactly. Poor
But
fucking
yeah, I don't know how we got there.
yeah. I don't either, but anyway.
Wait, so you pre-ordered on Nintendo the Mario stuff?
No, I pre-ordered on Xbox. What do you mean?
I meant like, did you support the industry of GameStop?
Oh no, absolutely not. Also, I don't know if you know this, and this is a really good time to talk about it. So, a lot of people were pre-ordering the physical copy,
I
and
know. I know
GameStop
you.
was saying we don't have enough copies, so we're
Oh,
canceling the
really?
order. Yeah.
Well, so what I was seeing the article of was that people were pre-ordering the physical copies, and I guess GameStop sold out, but Best Buy, Amazon, and Target still had like hundreds. Like they were like, we're nowhere near selling out.
That's wonderful.
That's one, but people were selling them on eBay for like $250, and people were buying them.
I did not hear that. That's
And they had to put out a thing that they were like, guys, it's not sold out. Like, why are you paying $300? You can go to any other store.
you
Like,
know, like if people are willing to look on eBay before they check anywhere else besides GameStop, you kind of deserve to lose $300 at that point.
yeah, and they had to be like, guys, there's mad copies left. Like, you can buy it
Yeah,
digitally.
exactly.
Like people were
It's
like,
not the end of the world.
like people were like, you're really spending $300? Like, you could buy it literally, and they had articles out and everything.
That's
Like,
crazy.
so I thought that's what you were gonna say, because I was like, yeah, mad people were paying mad money, and it's still available.
That's so. Oh man,
So you haven't played it yet, though, or you have?
I have not played it. It is loaded. I've been busy all day with like I worked 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then I went downstairs to have dinner, and I think I worked from like 8 to 10. So yeah.
Wow, yeah,
So,
that's yeah.
so I'm gonna play a little bit after this, maybe, but I might also have to work again. So,
Oh my gosh. I mean, at least you have your weekend coming up, and then.
yeah, yeah, I'm
But
probably
I
gonna have to
feel
work
that.
through the weekend, but
Yeah. Oh no.
it's okay.
Time for new employment.
Great. Now I have to bleep that part out.
Like, I don't know this guy.
um,
Um.
yeah. So I haven't played it. I'm so excited to, and I really want to, but I also am going to take the opportunity to now plug my own stuff, because
Ooh.
I wanna actually record it and record my experience playing it and load it to my YouTube channel, which is
Oh.
NephilimMisfit, and I'm not spelling that out because everyone gets confused when I spell it, so I'm just going to put it in the description of the episode.
Yeah, for years I thought it was Nephilim is fit, and I thought it was a buff angel.
I'm not sure if you're joking, and I
No, I
really,
promise you. I
oh my
promise you I
god,
thought it was that.
that's awful. That is awful.
Like I was like, "Oh,
See,
like
this is exactly why I need to change the name.
no, I don't think so." Because they're
Because
going to
you
be like, "Wow, this guy is not buff at all." Like yeah, yeah, so that's what I thought that's what it was for mad long.
that's horrible.
Yeah, but it's okay though. I think it's great, and you're gonna say it in the beginning of the channel. Oh, maybe I don't know if you do. I don't remember. Do you? I don't think
No.
so. I think you just go, "Hey guys."
Yep. Now I probably should say it. It's good to clarify. See, feedback and learning every
Oh, you
day.
know what else you did too? You capitalized the M in Misfit. So
Yes.
that made a big difference too. It used to just be one big thing.
Oh yeah, it was like a big poop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you capitalized the M, and I was like, "Oh yeah, two M's there in the middle." Like NephilimMisfit.
Yeah.
Like
I,
so.
I always have this weird issue with my like weird online names, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
not to deviate from the topic again because we apparently don't want to talk about Nintendo today. But I had an old name and it was like Sinister Ripper,
yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like I won't lie, it was based off of like the guitarist from Avenged Sevenfold because his name is Sinister Gates, but it was like kind of a play on that.
And
But
farts.
everyone, I hate you. Um,
Uh huh.
but everyone always thought it was Sinister Stripper because they couldn't look at the actual words. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow, this is awful. I'm just not going to use this anymore.
Yeah, yeah. You know
Yeah,
what's funny? I thought that too, but
yeah, yep.
but I figured it out. Like I
Yeah.
got it. It's okay. It's okay, Sinister Stripper.
Yeah, no, it was awful. And as soon as I heard that more than once,
You were like, "Yeah, I can't do this anymore."
yep, no, exactly.
Yeah, that's really funny.
It's really horrible too. But
Sinister Stripper. Yeah, so go check out his actual YouTube channel, NephilimMisfit.
and the
It'll
name
be in the
and I guess the
description.
link is in the description.
Yeah, unless you're on any other platform other than YouTube, I think. I don't know if we could put the description on anything else.
I see you've never looked at it anywhere else.
Nope.
It's okay.
I don't have anything else. I told you last time I was a guy with Amazon that was trying to be hip and cool.
It's true. I should have listened.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to be hip and cool with a Samsung device instead of my Apple.
You could use
So
Spotify.
that is the hip and cool Amazon. That was the first thing.
You can use Google Pod.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Oh,
By the
really?
way, yeah. So, by the way, we're on YouTube, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify Podcasts, and we're on Google Podcasts.
Google Podcast. Wow.
Ironically enough, it took us a week to be on Google Podcast because
Oh,
the
like
waiting period,
longer? Yeah,
it,
yeah.
the waiting period's like apparently 7 days.
Wow. I thought Apple usually had. I was really surprised when like the same day you were like, "Yep, on Apple."
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, they're efficient. It only took 24 hours.
yeah.
And Spotify apparently just doesn't care.
Yeah, they're like that with everything.
Yeah.
They're going to
But
kick
it
us off for saying
but I,
that.
but I've heard yeah. But I've heard that if their like audio detection hears anything, like any music at all that isn't like that is copywritten, it will just take the episode off their services. So
Oh,
that's interesting.
wow. And we've been good though, right? Cuz we have our copyright stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So then don't put the and
What if I
like
talk
because
through
maybe, I don't know. um I don't know how we got there. How do we do this?
we always deviate. It's okay. But
That's our thing.
Mario, yeah.
Oh,
Um
Mario. Okay.
so that shit is $60.
Oh, yeah.
Um a lot of people are kind of annoyed about it from what I'm hearing.
A lot of people are annoyed because they did a timed exclusive while like the world is dying.
Yeah. So
Like
there's a lot of things that people are annoyed about because of this, like namely the $60 price tag for three games that are like
3 old games.
three old games. One that's what almost 20 years old now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I definitely thought it was going to be $40.
yeah, I thought so too. I'm like, okay, $40, not bad. Like they made because for context, they did the Super Mario All Stars, which was like a thing that came out on the Super Nintendo years ago, and they just put
Yeah.
that on the Switch. So that's like the original Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, and then like the lost levels of Super Mario Bros, which was like
Yeah.
what Mario 2 actually was in Japan or something like that. So that's
Mm.
technically free if you have Nintendo like online or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then so Super Mario 3D All Stars is like Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and then Mario Galaxy, which are the best the best thing ever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I love all of those.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
so stoked, and I'm like, $60. What the heck? I'm still gonna buy it because like,
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I was like. I
yeah,
was like, "Really?
I'll
60 bucks?"
I'll bend over for anything Nintendo wants to give me. It's fine. But
Seriously, me too. But then on top of that, like Nintendo games do not lower in price.
no, they
They're
don't.
they're their own platform of video games. I can go out and buy Breath of the Wild right now for like $60.
Yep,
Like,
yep. If you wanted it new, you're gonna be paying
yeah,
$60.
and then they're like used 58.75. Like,
Yep,
so like Nintendo games, I generally, unless like if they're mainstream, and like Cooking Mama is probably like $4 right now. I don't know. Um, but any mainstream Nintendo game stays expensive forever. Like, or they go up.
yep.
Like, I feel like Melee for this GameCube went up after the GameCube. Like,
It
it was
did.
like,
It did. It's really weird. And so did I think Metroid Prime did at one point
yeah,
too.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then I had Bayonetta too, which someone bought to use on my Wii U. Like, it wasn't for me; it was for them to play it on my Wii U. And at one point, it hit like $200. And
That's
I
crazy.
almost sold it. And I was like, "This isn't even mine." Like, and I was like, "I really feel like I should sell it right now." And now it's back to normal price. Now it's like it came out on PlayStation, and it's like $5 on PlayStation. Like,
Yeah, hmm. And it's on the Switch.
oh,
Or
maybe it was Switch. I think it's on the Switch
no,
because I don't think
I
they
think
switched.
no, I think they put it on PlayStation also.
Because I remember seeing it and being like, "Wow, it's so cheap now." Like, I can't believe I should have just sold it for $70. And they never even played it. I just had it. I still have it. I don't even have my Wii U. Like,
Yeah, I have my Wii U, but it broke, so it's in the attic because
wow.
my
No,
brother took it.
I let my brother borrow it and I never got it back. But I still have a bunch of games for it.
It's
And
fair.
he only has like 2 games. Like, I should ask for it back. There were some really good games on it.
Yeah, and speculation is I think next year is 35 years of Zelda, so there's probably going to be like a Zelda collection coming next
Oh
year.
yeah.
But that's really all I want to play. And like I want to replay Wind Waker, Skyward
Oh,
Sword.
I love the replay of Wind Waker. That
Yeah,
was on Wii U, right? Yeah.
yeah. I got the Wind Waker branded Wii U, and it was fantastic.
Oh yeah. And did you beat it on the Wii U?
Oh yeah,
Oh, so you just want to play it again?
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
I definitely.
my favorite
Yeah,
Zelda game, hands down.
I loved Wind Waker. My favorite game, Zelda, used to be Twilight Princess, and I loved Twilight Princess. Don't judge me.
Oh,
Um,
I don't think
and
any of them are bad, to be honest with you.
so I love Twilight Princess. It was my favorite game. It took me like 9 months to beat because I didn't cheat, and it was like, I don't know, I was in high school or something, or
Yeah, no, those games are not easy, especially like
I
Wind
got stuck
Waker
so
and
many.
Twilight Princess were just like
I
because they
rage quit so many times for Wind Waker too. Like, just I would get stuck in stuff for hours and then be like, I hate this game.
yep, yep.
Like, I specifically remember in Twilight Princess, there was a part where I had to like slide down a mountain, and they were like, in order to slide down this mountain, we need like a leaf or a frozen piece of ice. Do you know what I'm talking about?
And it's yeah, this the snowy mountain to go
Yeah,
into that
and
weird
you have
mansion. Yeah,
into the Yeti's house,
yeah,
and you had to roll into the tree, right? So I remember, and I should have known, like you do that all the time in Zelda.
yeah.
But I was naive. And I remember seeing the leaf and then like throwing bombs at the tree, shooting arrows at the leaf directly, like hitting the tree with the sword, getting like the hammer thing, and trying literally everything for hours until I was like, F this game. I hate I remember going back to towns and seeing if there were other items I needed, trying the boomerang to hit the leaf, and nothing was working. And I tried for hours until I was like, F this game. I stopped playing for like 2 months just because I was so annoyed. And then when I started playing again, I just opened it, rolled into the tree by mistake, and the leaf fell.
That's
And I was like, damn it.
that's just awful.
But
I
so
don't remember the rolling part that, but I just remember those two games just getting lost for and just not knowing what to do
Wind
next.
Waker is so horrible with that
Yeah.
because it was like finding things in the middle of the ocean. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you go on that whole like mission or whatever to find the missing pieces of the Triforce. So like what you
yeah,
need to
yeah,
do
and
to
it's
complete the
like
game, and then like
yeah, and for the Wii U version, they made it less pieces. I don't know if you knew that or realized.
I didn't realize that. Huh.
So
I
for
think they made it
literal
a lot easier too. Like they showed you where to go.
They did. So the GameCube one, they didn't show you where to go, and it was double the amount of pieces that are in the Wii U version. So
That's
it was like
crazy.
24 pieces or something. And I found them all without looking at a guide. Like the first time. And then the second time I played it, I was like, I'm looking at a guide. I'm not looking for these damn pieces
Yeah.
again.
I,
Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I did the opposite. So back before I appreciated things, like story and just like critical
yeah.
thinking, I guess, I looked up walkthroughs for a lot of things. So when Wind Waker originally came out in like what 2001 or something,
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely looked up a walkthrough to beat that. But like replaying it again, I like even before it came out on Wii U, I played it on GameCube.
And
Um,
you were like, I'm going through this and finding everything
Yeah,
myself.
exactly. I'm doing this the hard way, and
Yeah.
I don't know where it went, but I have a book, like a journal of all the notes that I took for every Zelda game because I went through them like sequentially, like this Nintendo game, the Super Nintendo game, like all of them.
Loser. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
it was pretty cringy stuff,
No, no, that's not at all. There's mad people that do that.
but yeah, I wrote them down, and
I've grown the opposite. I used to be like that, and now like literally playing Last of Us too. And I guess I was thinking like Resident Evil, like in the old Resident Evil games, they'd be like, "Here's the safe," and it's a note on the safe, and it's like, "Hey, I went out of town. I left the safe. I left the password to the safe at the grocery store across the street." And then you have to like kill 10,000 zombies. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Like, and it's like you have to kill 10 zombies, get through mad stuff to find a code, and then go back and put the code in and whatever. And then it's like, here's one bullet. Like,
yep,
so in Last of Us 2, I started playing, and it's like, hey, I left the code. The password to the safe is when my best boy was the employee of the month.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like his dog, the day his dog was employed. And I was like, should I really look for this or should I just Google it? And Ashley's like, yo, we just started this game. Like you already want to look stuff up. And I'm like, man, but it's just the password to a safe.
They're
And I was
they're not that
well,
hard to find. I'll give you
yeah,
that,
and
but
then I was like, "Oh, but this is not Resident Evil." And literally I walked out the room and it was right there.
yeah,
And I was like, "Wow, my peak lazy." like
yep. You
like
really gave up too quick.
literally I was like, I gave up way too quick. I'm glad I didn't look it up. Like I was like, I would have been really ashamed that it's right here it was like I walked out of the room, it was right there. Like I didn't even fight enemies yet. Like,
Yeah, if I remember correctly, like those kind of puzzles, the answer is generally in the same spot.
yeah, yeah. It's not like the old games like
Yeah,
that it's like half a mile away.
yeah.
Like
And so it's funny because I played the Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake,
oh,
and
so you just went through this again.
I did.
Like
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, but the thing is, I don't know if you remember. So Resident Evil 2, you play like two campaigns. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
choose if you want to do Leon or Claire, the two main characters, and then whoever you choose, when you beat their game, you play, the other person's story, like
Yeah, yeah.
running concurrent to that. And a lot of like even in the remake, they still like copy and pasted a lot of the puzzles, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at that point, like when I was playing, like even now, when I was playing the second campaign, I'm like, no, F that. I'm not doing that again. I'm not going to find that answer. I don't remember it. I'm looking it up. I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
spending 30 minutes trying to find the combination to the safe for like probably something I don't even need.
Yeah, seriously. Like it's like shotgun shells, but it's 2 chapters early.
It's like
Like
grenade
like
launcher ammo, but like your inventory is full and
and you only need it for the last boss fight, and you're
yeah,
gonna be back here again later.
yeah,
Like yeah, so I definitely felt like that. But I was like, "Oh, wait, Last of Us doesn't really do that. Let me just stick with the game. Like,
Yeah.
so
Uh,
Mario.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Mario.
Well, for the Zelda, finishing the Zelda thing, I like Twilight Princess a lot. I loved it. It was my favorite game. When they came out with the remake, say around probably a few months after they came out with the Wind Waker remake or something like that, I played through all of the Wind Waker remake. I loved it again. I was like, this is amazing. The only part I used the guide for was trying to find those little pieces of the Triforce.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the puzzles, whatever. Um, then the Twilight Princess remake came out, and I was like, oh, I'm more excited. I got like an hour in, and I was like, I'm not doing this again. like, like I
Yeah.
got like an hour in, and I was like, I'm sick of it. I don't want to
Yep.
play this game anymore.
That's yeah.
Like, it's not as fun as I remember. Like, Minda talks so much. Like,
True. And so I don't remember the name of the person from Skyward Sword, but
oh, the sword. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
yeah.
But I remember that being
Analyzing. Like,
that was the worst. That was
you
the
have a
only thing that
90% chance of it raining. And
yeah.
it's like, it's already raining sword. Like, and it doesn't matter. It's a
Thank,
video game.
yeah, thank you, Sword. Um, but yeah, I love Skyward Sword, and if they remake that for or remaster it for Switch, I'm just gonna not look forward to talking to
Yeah.
whoever
She
that is.
annoyed me in that game too. Like, when I was playing it, I was like, shut up. Like she annoyed me in the game too. So even though I really loved Skyward Sword too. But I don't know. Same thing, like when I played back through Twilight Princess, I could not get through it. I
Yeah,
couldn't. It was just so boring. And I was playing straight for like a good hour and change. And I was just like, I'm bored. Like, I was like, I enjoyed this game so much. And my first play had like hundreds of hours for me just coming back and playing it more and doing a bunch of stuff.
yeah.
And now I just can't stand it. Like I was like, I can't stay here and do that. So I think Wind Waker is my favorite game now. Like, or the new one. Oh my
Breath of
gosh,
the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. I did beat that one twice. And um
My
the
unpopular opinion, it's not my
Warriors. No.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Warriors
not
is
your favorite? You don't
not my
like it?
favorite. I don't. It's not like I don't like it. I just really like the linear kind of. It's
Yeah.
Zelda's never really been linear, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it's
No, it's definitely the other ones were way more, well, except like Majora's Mask and stuff, but I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Like you like the more linear compared to like the open world.
Not everything
Yeah.
has to be open world.
Yeah, I definitely kind of agree with that. Definitely kind of agree.
Yeah, that's way to commit right there.
You know me, always commit to whatever I say in my
Speaking
feelings.
speaking of commitments, though, you and I have recently made commitments on something, and
I don't
that's
remember.
that's something won't come to fruition until what is it, November
Yeah,
12th
yeah.
this
12.
year?
I
Yeah,
think you're getting yours later than mine.
you think so?
Let's say, I mean, we talked about this earlier before. You confused me with the word commitment.
I already forgot what we talked about before, but
No, I brought it up. I said there was a big day today. I didn't We
oh
didn't
yeah,
get into it
it was
because we
it
didn't
was
want to.
it
I
was a
was too
big
early.
yeah, no, it was a big day today, and that is fact. So today is September 18th.
Yeah,
Yesterday was
yeah. I
September
forgot. Everyone's
17th.
going to see this on like the, I don't know, 23rd.
Yes, whatever day it is, Monday 21st.
Oh,
Um,
Monday. Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so it is the 18th. Technically, well, officially, the PlayStation 5 was announced yesterday with its pricing and games and more information. And
Yeah.
then
Well, no, it was announced Wednesday,
what day is it?
Friday.
You're right. I'm getting my
Because
days mixed up.
no, because I was confused too. Because Sony at the press conference was like, "We're gonna release it tomorrow," and then I got an email that was like,
That's
"Pre-order
yep.
on Friday." Like,
That
and I was
is
like, "What?"
yeah. You're
Uh,
right. So I backpedal on what I'm saying. So the
yeah, yeah,
PlayStation 5 release date was announced Wednesday, September 16th, and so we both pre-ordered it. My day, actually, I pre-ordered it on Wednesday. So
yeah.
that
because
was
and quickly I ended up buying Sony stock because of it. I mean, I've been buying a bunch of stock lately.
yeah. I
You
haven't
know,
bought any, though I
you
really
still
should.
didn't buy Apple. I saw you started your account.
Yeah.
Oh, it told me because of the link, but Apple's super low right now. I bought some more Apple and bought some Sony, but this is a conversation for next week with the stocks and stuff. But because Sony got a lot of crap, they got so much crap on them, like because they're dumb a little.
Okay, so I did some research. So you explain why they're dumb, and I think I can help clarify why they're not as dumb as we think they are.
Well, no, what the main reason I was thinking was because they were like, we're gonna give everybody plenty of time to pre-order. You're gonna have months of time before we tell you the pre-order date, and then the day of they were like pre-ordering tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that they are dumb for. I'm giving it, I'll submit to that one. And I'm
yeah,
not
the
defending them as though
retailers thing
they're
was
Sony.
bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not submitting or whatever, like, because I'm a Sony fanboy, which I mean I am, but like,
yeah, me too.
honestly, if the games on Xbox were like, if I wanted to play any of them, I would
That's the
switch to
big thing.
Xbox. But
Yeah,
like all of the games except like Halo Infinite, which is coming out on PC, so I'll still play it anyway.
yeah,
Um, I don't really have an interest, so everything I want to play is on PlayStation.
same for me. Yeah.
But
Although
yeah,
their interface is really nice. Like they're doing some cool stuff with like their interface and like
Games
the
Pass
way
is
the
really cool.
connectivity, Game Pass, but then all the games I'm like, meh.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. And
Gears
then
of
there's
War 21.
I
Like,
don't I dropped off after Gears 2. I don't really, and it's
yeah, I
okay.
did play Gears 1 and 2. Um,
But there's like the PS Plus collection, which I think is like
oh,
pretty
it looks
cool
great.
because you
Yeah.
get all of, like the, from what it looks like, the exclusive PlayStation games that came out on PS4. You get
Yeah. Some of
right
those I don't
available.
have. There's quite a few of them I don't have that I'm really excited for, and
That's
they'll be
cool.
on PS4.
Yep.
I mean 5.
Yep. um, and then so what I was reading, and I actually like fact checked and everything.
Yeah.
So apparently, Sony was like, we're gonna do our pre-orders tomorrow, meaning like I think yesterday or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Thursday.
Yeah, so Thursday, the 17th. So they said that the 16th, but of course, once they told people that pre-orders opened the 17th, and sorry, I just smacked the microphone by accident. Um,
Yeah.
the issue was that Walmart tweeted, "We're gonna make you wait." I don't think so.
Oh,
Pre-order
yeah, yeah,
today,
I saw that.
and then they open pre-orders early, and then every other retailer except like Amazon decided that they're going to open their floodgates too. So that's why there
Yeah.
was such an issue, because everyone like scrambled at that point and no one was like ready for it.
Yeah.
So everyone's pissed because they're saying that, Sony promised, obviously it's still like really way ahead of schedule, but everyone's saying that Sony said tomorrow and then it became
It
like
was the
right now.
same day. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not even their fault. They didn't do pre-orders until today, and you're living proof of that.
Yeah, yeah. Because I
um,
waited for the Sony one.
yeah,
Mainly because I missed everyone else's.
yeah.
You
And
know, what were you gonna say?
no, I was gonna say that I'm happy you were able to get one. You and I were both able to get one.
Yeah,
Um,
and it was a whole story. I was posting everything on my Instagram,
yeah,
because it was like I waited till I guess it was what are we, EST, ET?
yes,
Uh,
yes.
Same thing,
I think we're
Eastern
EST
time.
right now when we're in the fall, and then EDT in the spring.
Yeah, so theirs was Pacific time, so it was like, oh, 10 a.m. Pacific time, so it was 1 p.m. here. Um, so I was waiting there at like 12:40 or something. I logged on and it was like, all right, wait the time, which I recorded. And once I got to like 5 seconds, I started recording, and it's like, oh, wait, you're about to get your PS5. 3, 2, 1, you're on a queue. Like, and I was like, huh? Wait, what? Like, and it was like, you're 5,000th in line. Like, and I was like, I just waited for this countdown for me to wait. Like, I was like, and then it was like 55 minutes.
Yeah, you sent me that. I didn't, as I said, I don't go on stories, but you texted
Yeah.
that to me, and I was just like, I felt so bad. I like audibly
I
yelled
was
out loud. That was
I
awful.
audibly yelled at my laptop. I was like, "Are you serious, Sony?" Like, I mean, I guess it's smart because their website didn't crash.
True. Yeah. So
um,
yeah, my story was pretty much um, once we learned that pre-orders were going to be the 17th, on the 16th, so Wednesday from
yeah.
today, I signed myself up and Megan up for an email notification from Best Buy and from Sony
Oh, yeah, yeah,
to let us know when pre-orders become available. And of course, I walk into, it's like 8 o'clock or something like that, 9 o'clock maybe. I walk
yeah,
into the bedroom. Megan's laying down with our daughter because the baby is asleep, and I see her on the phone because she got an email from Best Buy to say that
yeah,
pre-orders were live. So she's like, she told me, and I'm like, oh crap. So that means we're probably not getting one. So we're sitting there probably about an hour, just like in the dark. I'm sitting on
trying
the
to
floor
get
next to the
one.
bed. We're just pressing the checkout button with it on our cart. So we're
Oh,
just waiting. And then Best Buy's server went down like a
oh,
thousand
yeah,
times.
yeah. It went down, yeah.
So that was fun. So I eventually was just like, all right, I'm gonna keep pressing this button because I have to go work. So I came in the office and I'm pressing the button while typing up emails and doing work stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm doing that, and then Megan comes in because we have our desks next to each other.
yeah,
She sits to the left of me, so she comes in and she logs onto her computer, and she's trying to she's using now 3 or 4 devices to try
yeah,
and
yeah.
get this. And there was one point where like we just got the notification that Best Buy was completely sold out. So I'm like, all right, damn it, that sucks. Like, whatever,
Yeah,
I'll accept it. I'll look at Amazon at midnight. Um, so I think I went to the bathroom or something, and I came back, and I just, or no, I'm just working, and Megan just starts like clapping or something, like snapping like really
yeah,
loud. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Because she's like waving her hands in the air.
yeah, yeah.
And she's just like looking at the screen, and it's like, thank you for your order. So we were able, apparently, like my theory is that Best Buy probably told people they were out of stock,
And still had a few.
yeah, to get people to just stop stop overloading their website.
Yeah, yeah.
and
Well,
then and then when that traffic died down, they probably were like, all right, get the rest of them out. And yeah.
so not to ruin your good moment, but Best Buy did you didn't get any cancellation emails, right? Best Buy did cancel a bunch of them because people were mad at them.
Nice.
So double check that.
That's
'Cause
actually a good point. I'm gonna have Megan check in the morning.
yeah, because I was gonna go through Best Buy too, and the same thing was happening. But by the time I went on, it was way too late, which
Right.
I think is the people who got their canceled ones. Because I checked at like, I don't know, midnight or something. And it was out of stock, and then I refreshed and it was like, we have some, and I put it in cart, but it wouldn't let me check out. And I was there for mad long, and then I got the Sony email that was like, "Oh, you can get yours on Friday." So I was like, "I'll just wait for Sony." Um, so I ended up not doing Best Buy and going to Sony because they were like, I couldn't check out for mad
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. No, I wanted to do Sony, but then I got the notification that Best Buy was open
Yeah,
first.
if I got the notification earlier, I would have definitely went through Best
Yeah.
Buy.
Yeah.
But then afterward,
I'm hoping she didn't get an email, but that is a good thing to be aware of. And
yeah,
now
it's
you ruined my night. Thank you.
now you're gonna worry about it all night.
I'm gonna worry about it for the next 2 months. Is what I'm gonna do.
No, they would tell you like right now, like people were getting them like the same night within like 30 minutes. So I
Okay.
think you should be good.
Yeah, Megan checks her email like all the time, so she would have noticed by now.
Yeah, I think she would have been like, Joe.
Yeah. Or she's not
um,
telling me so I don't cry.
I know she's like, I need to try and get another one.
Yeah. She's gonna get
Like,
to this point in the episode, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, by the way."
Marcus was right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no. In Sony, what I did this. So the Sony put me on the queue. I waited for like an extra 55 minutes, and then it finally let me in. I got it, and they deliver like on the 12th or something. when I went to Best Buy. I went to Best Buy the other day. They were talking about it. They were telling people it ships on the 12th
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah, I fully accepted that I wasn't getting
Yeah,
it
I mean,
same
it's
day.
only a few days.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
just gonna have it first.
yeah. No, because and it's former employer, so it doesn't matter. So I used to work for Apple, so
Yeah, yeah.
that yeah, when I worked there, I also pre-ordered the very first Apple Watch, and I think we hung out when this happened.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I pre-ordered the very first Apple Watch, and even as an employee, they don't take precedence over anyone. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter unless you're Tim Cook or another executive. But
Sorry, Tim Cook. No Apple Watch for you early.
yeah, but yeah, so I waited probably about 5 months or so. No, sorry, that's overshooting it. I think I waited like 3 months for my Apple
Yeah.
Watch. It was crazy, but I don't think I'll be waiting that long. I hope, but either
No, they
way,
said it's maximum 7 days.
yeah, which isn't terrible. I just can't plan any PTO is the problem.
Yo, for real.
uh, yeah, but whatever. I
Yeah.
think so. I ordered the main console off Best Buy, but separately, I did go to Sony's website, and it doesn't look like their accessories are
No,
set.
they're not sold out.
Yeah, so I got the headset, and I did get the charging dock because it was like $20,
Oh,
$30.
did you? Wait for Oh, yeah, you did? I'm
Yeah,
asking for Christmas from all of my family.
yeah,
I just like, everyone every year is like, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" Like, "I wanna get you something," and I never have a list of or anything or never have stuff. So I was like, "That's a good point." Like, I don't have a charging dock now. Like, I'll
yeah.
ask for it, and I probably won't get it, and I'll have to buy one for myself.
It's again, it's like $30 though. It's not the
Yeah, yeah.
worst peripheral you'll ever have to buy,
Yeah,
or
well,
the
that
most
was the thing,
expensive.
it was, like, good price range where if, like, I don't know, a family member wants to buy me something,
Yeah,
it's only I'm not like, "Hey, this $80 thing,"
exactly.
like, or this $100 thing. I'm like, "Yo, it's $30, like, here you go."
And I wasn't even willing. I'm not even willing to like wait for another charging dock because it's like this looks like the PlayStation. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good point.
and
You think they'll
I'm
sell out?
starting. I think. I don't know. I worked the PlayStation 4 launch when I worked at Best Buy, and I feel like everything sold out.
Yeah, but they'll make more, I think.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah, yeah, so I don't mind too much. But
Yeah.
you're right, it does look like like, it's cool to have everything look the same.
Yeah, exactly. I like the I'm actually starting to, you know,
To like how it looks.
exactly. Yeah, everyone, there was that meme that it looked like a wireless router, which I still agree with, or like a crappy Alienware. um,
Yeah, yeah.
but like looking at it,
It's
I realized there's like this weird thing, and it's all that like relative like mental thing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the white, usually we're all used to like the sleek black look of
Yeah,
almost
I
everything, but for some reason the white, and then Apple kind of caught on to this a long time ago. White kind of just looks expensive, like
yeah,
high
yeah.
end. So I think, or superior, I should say. I feel like the white makes it look awesome. And
Yeah.
I
I
realize now my PS4 kind of just looks black and like, yeah.
Yeah, and I always found, like, when the console is, like, gray or white, you always want a black version, and when you have a black console, you always want the white version,
Yeah.
and it's always like that. Like, with the PlayStation 1, it was gray, and everyone was like, "Oh, can we get a darker color?" And then they got a darker color. And then the dark PS2, everyone was like, "Hey, can we get a white PS2?" Same for the 3 and 4.
Yep.
Like, oh, and then the PSPs, they did the same thing.
Yep.
Like, they started with the black one, everyone was like, "Ugh, can we get a white PSP?" Like, and so it's always gonna be like they're gonna make a black one in like another 4 months or something.
Yeah.
Um, but everyone always wants the opposite, no matter what.
Yeah.
When the PS4 came out, they were like, "Yeah, but these black controllers, imagine them in white." And and now with the PS5, they're like, "Oh, these black and white controllers, imagine them in white and black." No, in all white or something, all black or something, you know. So, yeah, I think I'll get used to it. I
Yeah.
don't care
And
either way.
I think the white like sides actually come off from what I've seen.
Yeah, yeah. They
So
did that with the PS4 too. It's just nobody bought the differences.
Did they? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
for the base PS4, the glossy side, you can
Oh,
pop out, and
yeah.
they sold other versions,
I didn't
like
know
a
they
matte.
sold other versions. I just knew that you could pop that off to get the hard drive out.
Yeah, but they're probably mostly bootleg versions, but they sold a matte version through Sony, but it
Oh,
was like $45, and I was like, nope.
that you no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, because I was like, no, I'm not paying that much for a sleeve for this PlayStation. I never look at the console directly.
Plus, we're now in the world where 3D printing is like so common that you can probably
Seriously,
find people who 3D print new sides for either cheap or like a decent price, or
that's
if
true.
they're
But also,
monopolizing
mine
that, then
was
they're just assholes, and I'll keep the white siding.
seriously, and mine was also like behind the TV,
Yeah,
hidden, so like it doesn't matter. And the PS5 will be in the same place.
yeah, true. My PS4 is right below my monitor my main monitor. I have two. Um, so
Ooh,
they're work monitors. I don't own them, so I'm not that
ooh,
fancy.
freaky
Um,
moment.
so yeah, it's I don't know where I'm gonna put this. I eventually plan on upgrading my desk to because
Me
right now
too.
I have a folding desk and it's bowing inward, so it'll break eventually.
Yeah, I
Um,
have a glass art desk
yeah.
that's like pretty much a square, and I'm just running out of space on it all the
Yeah,
time.
I know
Putting
exactly what desk you're talking about.
Yeah, and I've had it since like high school.
Yeah,
I used it for like all my art classes and painting, and then I was like, I don't need to buy a real work desk. I'll use my art desk. Um, and yeah, it's horrible. Like I've been looking at either making a desk or buying another desk. I just need something wider.
yeah. I Megan and I we bought Megan a desk for I think it was her birthday. Um,
Ooh,
we saved up and she wanted that one, so we bought it. So we were thinking of getting the same one for me, but it's like sold out now. So
what kind of desk is it?
I couldn't tell you the brand, but it's
From Amazon? Was it a green forest L-shaped computer gaming desk?
no. Uh,
That's what I was looking at for me.
I was looking at several. This one is like glass, like the main surface is glass, and
Yeah.
then there's like a wood keyboard tray, and then
Oh.
on in the back is like the whole back is like a one wood platform for to raise your monitors. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of space, a lot more than I have now.
Yeah.
So that would be cool, but it's been sold out for a while, so might have to look at other options.
Yeah, I also found on Facebook Marketplace, they sell desks there, like, I don't know, like, they're reselling like candy, like, it's crazy, like, people are selling so many desks on there, like, and they go too, like, and they're cheap, like, people are like, "I've had this desk for, like, a year, and I just got another one, like, $60," and it's like a $200 desk, um, so maybe they have it on there, I don't know. But yeah, I think we've hit the end of the road.
Yeah.
Our timestamps really vary, I think. I
Uh,
think 1:30 to 2 is like right our sweet spot.
yeah, I think we'll eventually manage to get into a time frame that will keep people listening for that long because I feel like people may I personally wouldn't. I've listened to 4-hour podcasts before, but
Yeah, yeah.
the
I
general
usually like
person doesn't listen past like the hour and 15-minute mark.
uh-oh. Bye guys. Yeah, I know.
If you made it
But
this
I've
far,
had people
congratulations, and I
listening.
appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate anyone who's listening to right now.
Yeah,
But I've had people that listen like on and off, like they'll just join back in, listen to 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there.
yeah.
Which I also appreciate. Like, but yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna end our podcast here abruptly.
Yeah, no
Thanks for
transition out.
nope.
Unless you want me to tell you another joke.
Hmm. All right, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. I mean, I don't have a list that I'm reading off of. I'm just thinking,
Rolling your
I'm
brain.
pulling things out of the air 100%.
All right.
Just thinking of one.
That's from your brain. Come on. You got this. A comedian and you used to do stand up.
Yeah, 100%. This is true.
I'll ignore the rolling sound I hear. Like, that's your file list of your own personal written jokes.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Exactly. This is. I'm reading through my Excel spreadsheet.
We could end just by telling them how you say chair in Spanish, and you have to end it right there when I say it. You want to just do that? I've got this one.
Okay. Yeah,
Do you know how to say chair in Spanish?
no, Marcus. How do you say chair in Spanish?
It's see ya.